Charles, and I'm back with another Poison Storm video. So, I'll start with the changes I've made to the deck, which is only that I've cut the Shred Memory for Fairy Macabre. That's because I'm no longer running Serene Heart, because Bogles is just such a small percentage of the meta now. And also, it's one of my most disrespected decks, in my opinion. Well, not in my opinion. That's kind of redundant, because it's objective, obviously. Um, but there's the two decks that I have no respect for are Ponza and Bogles, and I have to watch out when I'm recording against them because I usually get pretty salty whenever I face them. They're very good against Poison Storm and against most of what I play, but it always feels like they're just like going for that luck draw, you know? And luck is part of Magic, and I get lucky with this deck too, so I shouldn't get too salty when I play against them. But anyway, not a very good start for the introduction. I don't know why I started with... that's right, because I was explaining my sideboarding. So the sideboarding that I've done is just put 3 Fairy Macabre in the sideboard. The reason for this is because Spy is now over 3% of the meta, and Spy is one of our bad matchups, one of our very few bad matchups, I should say. It seems like 80% of the format we're favorable against, so that's great. But I haven't really done the math on that. Maybe it's less. For Fairy Macabre, another option would be Crypt Incursion or Heritage Reclamation. Crypt Incursion is really good against Cycle Storm, and Heritage Reclamation is something you bring in against Bogles. The problem is, Crypt Incursion costs 3 mana, so it's not the best against Spy, where you'd want something you can cast for free. And Heritage Reclamation, while it's decent against Bogles because it can destroy an enchantment, only exiles 1 creature. So against Spy, exiling 1 thing isn't going to be enough if they have more than if they can sack something, if they have like the ability to have 6 creatures on the battlefield. So that's why it also costs mana. That's why we have Fairy Macabre. But Heritage Reclamation is something I've been thinking about. If Bogles was a higher percentage of the meta, I would definitely be running it. But I don't even see Mono White Heroic or like the Mono White Bogles deck even on the meta anymore. And regular Bogles only seems to be about 0.3% of the meta, so it just doesn't make sense to put a worse card in for your deck against something that's almost non-existent. Anyway, that is my philosophy for boarding. If you see Bogles, will probably lose. I mean, not Bogles. Ponza will probably lose. Bogles will often lose to itself because it only runs like 12 hexproof creatures. So it's not like I have the biggest concern about Bogles. Ponza is a problem, though. Like, well, you usually lose Ponza, and you'll almost never see Bogles. Anyway, I'm recording this after I've already played the league. So let's get into it a little bit. So because I have some things that I've noticed that are different. Hopefully I haven't been rambling too much here about Bogles and Ponza, my 2 least favorite decks. So, how does this deck... what am I trying to talk about again? Oh yeah, what have I noticed about this deck since last time? Well, what I've noticed is that this deck with Pentad Prism, you're actually kind of almost playing it more similar to Ruby Storm than you would like traditionally how Poison Storm is played. And what I mean by that is you're trying to set up and like maybe do some chip damage with like your proliferators, and then when you cast your Pentad Prism, you just kill them because it reduces everything. At least that's what I've been trying to do, like sandbagging a little bit. Like, yeah, there are some moments in some matchups where it's right to play it out early and then just like go for it. But I've been noticing that by reducing my curve consistently, I'm no longer reliant on these Pentad Prisms. I can actually just go off without them fairly consistently and fairly easily. Because Snap, Metamorphose, and Teach by Example help build your storm count. Teach by Example does that by filtering Sandstone Needle into like kind of like making Sandstone Needle usable mana. And Metamorphose also does that while being a free spell, and Snap is like a ritual, so it gives you more mana, and it's also a spell for Weather the Storm. So that's kind of why I'm doing that. And another thing I notice is that the matchups that I lose against like Burn or Elves are these, which I consider to be very favorable matchups. I have very high win percentages against all of them. Are the matchups where I see Steady Progress, Infectious Inquiry, Focus the Mind, and Vivisurge's Insight. Multiples of these are like all my opening hand, like where you can't really generate a storm count because you just have all of these, expensive cards in your hand. Yeah, 3 mana is not that expensive, but it is when you're trying to But it's usually the difference between casting one spell or casting two spells, because because it costs 4 mana to cast two 2-drops. 3 mana means that you probably won't be able to cast two 2-drops. So it helps a lot in that regard. Now, the other strategy is like, well, you can run Everflowing Chalice to get around that. The issue with Everflowing Chalice is that it requires a little bit of setup to proliferate, so it kind of slows you down a little bit. Yes, you get that tempo back once you untap with it, but that's also if you untap with it. And suddenly, because you run all of these expensive cards, well, now you've become more reliant on your artifacts in order to cast your big spells. So I'd rather just cut out the middleman and go cheaper with my spells and just stormier. And that's been working out pretty well for me. I've had 11 trophies with this list, and honestly, if I don't like it, so basically, I seem to be going 5-0 every other league that I play with this, and then when I don't, it's either a 3-2 or a 4-1. Now, full disclosure, I do drop if I lose the first match of the league with this deck, or if I go 1-2. Like I win the first one, then I lose match 2 and 3. Just because it's not exciting for me, and I play to have fun, and it's not really fun trying to play for a 3-2 or immediately losing the first one. It's like, oh, now it's a bit of a chore. So I think I've basically covered the differences from the last time I've played in terms of my philosophy of playing the deck and things that I've noticed. I've been having a lot of fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the league. Okay, match 1, game 1. I wasn't going to record for this one, but I decided, you know what? I have the time now, and I'm going to be away for a month, so where I won't be able to record, so I might as well stock up some videos. I have 2 recorded ones, although one of the ones I need to actually do some changes with. So we shall see. Burn. I wonder what flavor burn this is. That doesn't really tell me. We have a snap, which is good if it's the Madness Burn one. We'll play the Sandstone Needle. We'll likely be going Experimental Augury. There is a bit of an argument for playing this Sappers Scary instead in order to be able to untap something with Snap here. Like if they were to go BTE into Rally the Peasants. Not Rally the whatever it's called. So, but it is not Rally Burn. Oh, what is this? Prehistoric Pate. Another Epicure. So, and they discarded a Snacker. So Snacker will be coming back next turn. That is something we'll consider snapping just to gain some, just as a way of gaining 2 life. And also giving us mana. We'll take this Pentad Prism. Any order. We're going to need to hit a Weather the Storm sooner rather than later. So we're just going to go Pentad Prism into Steady Progress. Okay. There's a Thirsting Root, so that's okay. So go Sappers and Scary. And next turn we're going to probably try to Weather. If we can hit a Weather. I'm assuming we're going to be able to, though. We'll be seeing a lot of cards here. Steady Progress. They're not infected, but that's less important than getting our mana set up. And we have pretty good setup right now. And we can infect them next turn anyway. So likely we will be snapping their Sneaky Snacker, as long as they don't have like a Lava Dart or something, or 1 red mana open. We are in a bit of trouble here, because we do need to hit a Weather. We're at 15, and they'll be able to do 2 more damage for their Snacker before. There's a Gutter Snipe, so that's even better than them snacking, because now we can just snap that back and buy some time. That was a really good hit. So we're going to go snap your Gutter Snipe, untap and untap, tap again, Pentad Prism, okay, done. We'll get them infected now, and we'll go Manamorphose first, just in case we hit another Pentad Prism. And we'll go green and blue, doesn't really matter. Hit a forest. We're just going to go Vivisurgeon's Insight first here. Vivisurgeon's Insight. Did not hit the weather. We're probably going to be snapping back one of their Voldaren Epicures here so that we can get another Dewey. So, do they have anything in exile? We're at 15, we're going down to 13. They played Gutter Snipe. I think we do snap, so we can try. So wait, if I play this forest, that gives me 6 mana, 7 mana with the Thirsting Roots, so I'm actually not going to snap yet because we don't need to. Instead, I'm going to go Thirsting Roots because this will allow me to cast the... Actually, before I cast Thirsting Roots, I'm going to cast Contentious Plan. Okay, because we can if they don't hit a land or something, we can always snap back their Gutter Snipe next turn to potentially buy us more time. Okay, that's not good. That is not a Weather the Storm. We still get another chance at drawing a Weather the Storm here. And if you draw another big mana spell, I will snap back their Voldaren Epicures, just to try and dig for a weather. Okay, done. And now we can go blue, blue, and blue, and blue, and blue for Vivisurgeon's Insight, hoping to hit a weather. Don't hit the weather. We are forced to snap here so that we can try and hit the weather. I mean, we're not forced, but I feel like that's what we need to do. All right. Question is, if I snapped, will I still have the mana? I think so. So I'll have to dead a Prism, but I think that's fine. So snap back your Epicure. We have a couple more draws to try and hit a weather. Okay, so we have, let's see, can we hit a weather? Blue, red, red. Do we hit weather? We don't. That's really, really bad. We don't hit weather. So we'll just discard this Hickory Woodlot and pass the turn. That's really unfortunate. 24 cards, no weathers. But that can happen. So they're going to go Gutter Snipe. He could be dead here. We're going to go Pentad Prism, Infectious Inquiry. Hope to either kill them or... Oh, they don't cast their Gutter Snipe. That's good for us. Instead, they just bring back the Sneaky Snacker. We need to hope that putting ourselves down to 12 doesn't, or less, depending what they do now, doesn't kill us. Okay, Highway Robbery as an exile. Probably dead next turn unless we draw a weather. We could be dead next turn even if we do draw a weather. We are due, though. We've seen almost half of our deck. So we're going to do double Pentad Prism. So Pentad Prism, red, blue, done. Pentad Prism, red, blue, done. No reason to go Infectious Inquiry first here, because we have all 4 prisms in the battlefield. Alright, here, 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 and here. We really desperately need to hit a Weather the Storm. Okay, Focus the Mind's pretty good. Do I Focus the Mind first or Infect? I think I do Focus the Mind first. So blue. I mean, this would put them... I've changed my mind. I'm actually going to go Infectious Inquiry. I don't think they can kill us from 12. They can do 8 with Fire Blast, so Infectious Inquiry. There's Weather. That's great. So green, that means we've probably won. And with this Thirsting Roots being a Cabal Ritual, I'm pretty sure there's a good chance we can just kill them as well. We're probably going to be playing this mountain. I'll put a couple more counters on some of my lands. And then we'll go Blue, we'll play the mountain now. I don't need any more tap lands. I have 4 Pentad Prisms on the battlefield. Focus the Mind. Discard here. And then we'll go blue and green for a Manamorphose. Green, blue, and then green, blue, and that should do it. Okay, it doesn't really matter that we missed there because we already have the Infectus Inquiry to finish them off, and there's no way for them to kill us from 10 because they're tapped out. They can get us down to like 2, but we also have the Weather the Storm to respond with. And then black, white, and Infectus Inquiry. Okay, so we got there without actually casting Weather the Storm, surprisingly. Okay, begin sideboarding. So post-board this gets more difficult because of their Power Blasts, and they're able to hold those up pretty effectively with the way their deck's built. So we're just put 2 Hydro, 2 Dispel. And it is worth considering leaving in your Teach by Examples, but I'd rather just have stuff that can counter their burn and is also cheaper cheaper protection. Because if you want to leave it in, you're going to have to go down on snap, which I don't think you're really allowed to do, because you need to be able to like snap back a Gutter Snipe if they go turn 3 Gutter Snipe. There is an argument for bringing in Breath Weapon. I still think it's a very good argument. It's very awkward in this deck. Like, Snap works so well with Weather the Storm that I feel like it's better to leave that in. I really only bring in Breath Weapon when it's very good, like against Rally Red or something like that. So we will keep this. It has Proliferation, it has Snap. The lands are only blue, so our Pentad Prisms aren't very good. We don't have very much card draw on this hand either, so it's not like it's a great hand. But it has lands, it has Proliferators. It's fine to keep. Alright, so they lead on Voldaire and Epicure. Pretty good start for them. They mulligan to 6, I believe. So that was a good draw. So we'll play the Sappers and Scary, and I might not even Contentious Plan next turn. I might just play this Sandstone Needle, because I don't really see what knocking the top of the deck's going to do in this spot. Well, there is an argument for doing it just to draw deeper. So I think, okay, so we are going to snap that now so we can save some life and kind of time walk them. So we'll play this Sandstone Needle. Yeah, so play Sandstone Needle. Snap back your dude. Untap, untap. And then the question is, do I proliferate now? I guess I will. I don't like really using my Manamorphose this way because it's better for Storm. I'm going to go green and blue. Contentious Pan. Proliferate and proliferate. Done. And contention. Now I'm kind of wishing... See, this is another reason for the Manamorphose. Now we're kind of color locked in our hand, so we need to hit green. Okay, so we hit a Manamorphose. That's good. So we can filter for black-green and then cast this Infectious Inquiry. Snapping back that dude was probably pretty necessary. They could just go Gutter Snipe now and probably kill us next turn, but we don't really have any other option. We might need to cycle for a forest with this Thirsting Roots. Okay, there's another Kaseg Flame Breather. So this, we're going to go green-black, Manamorphose, red, red. We're going to go green-black. They're leaving one red open. I'm imagining that this is a Pyroblast. I don't know why they're waiting so long on our Manamorphose. Likely going to cycle for a forest with this Thirsting Roots. Maybe not. We'll see what we draw here. We do need to have a forest down. If we draw a Pentad Prism, then I won't. Or another Manamorphose. Alright, so green and black. Alright, so we'll just go Infectious Inquiry here. blue, and blue, down to 15. There's the weather the storm. I'm just going to go Thirsting Roots. So there's a weather the storm. Storm count is only 2, though. Yeah, so Thirsting Roots, cast, search my library for a basic land card. Okay. Reveal the forest. Grab the forest. And we could proliferate now. Or we could play the Saps and Scary now. They've been holding up Hydroblast, though, so I think we do cast this Thirsting Roots now. The problem is we don't really have that much in terms of life gain. So this... But I feel like we should do this now anyway. Cast and proliferate. Because we can always play an island next turn anyway. And while it does put us from 7 to 6, maybe that's okay. We could easily be dead, though, because they're coming in for they're putting us down to 13. And we don't really have good storm stuff. We had to use a lot of our mana, a lot of our like storm enablers already. Yeah, and we're down to 11, going down to 9. Double Fire Blast. A lot of things kill us here. Like Bolt Fire Blast kills us. Okay. Grab the prize. We could have done a small weather there, and maybe we should have, just to keep us alive. Because we would have been at 15. And it's not like our weather this turn is going to be any better. So I'm guessing, yeah, we probably should have actually weathered last turn. Gained some 12 life. Would have let us live another day. Oh, okay, well that's a good sign. Alright, so we cannot cast that Thirsting Roots without casting Weather the Storm. And we kind of need to weather now because that's another weather, which unfortunately we cannot take, or should not take, because I'd rather take this Experimental Augury in order to gain myself some more life. So we're going to take another Experimental Augury, unfortunately. Any order. I think that's better than... okay. Done. Now we'll play this... no, we can't. We need to play this island. So play island. Augury. Hydroblast is tempting. But I think we have to take this Vivisurgent's Insight. Any order. Proliferate here, here, here. Done. And now we can weather and gain some life. I mean, I guess we didn't have to take this Vivisurgent's Insight. We could have taken that Hydroblast to kill this Kaseg Flame Breather. So next turn, we're going to probably play the Mountain and attempt to Vivisurgent's Insight. Hope that they don't have Hydro available. Okay, they go Highway Robbery. Snap would be a good draw. They're at 4 Infect. We're in a bad position here. Maybe I could have played a little differently to play a little better. Like maybe I should have taken that weather. But I don't know about that. So basically what we were looking for is just another little weather to stay alive. Okay, and now here's the mountain. So we can go Vivisurgent's Insight. The problem is they have Pyroblast available. And we're almost definitely dead next turn. Alright, so we're going to need to hit a weather, and even that probably doesn't win us the game. Right, we'll see. So unfortunately we had to use so much of our weather fodder in the early game. So we have a chance here. We can Manamorphose into Weather the Storm. Done. But we already bottomed a weather, so the odds of that happening are pretty slim. So Manamorphose And we'll probably just concede if we miss here. Green and blue. We missed. They're coming in for 1, 2, 3, 4. We're down to 3. I won't concede because, you know, maybe they just have lands in hand or something and they just, like, miss everything. But we are almost definitely dead here. I feel like I could have played a little differently, though, to maybe be okay. Like, had I weathered that turn instead of going Thirsting Roots, maybe that would have allowed me to choose weather off the top. I don't know. So we're going down to, like, 2 or something like that. Any spell kills us. Alright, and that is a grab the prize, so we'll just... Oh, okay, we'll just let them kill us here. Alright. So, lost game 2. Felt like I didn't play all that well, because I feel like we had the tools to win. I just didn't choose the right line. So, we will try it again. Submit. I guess maybe grabbing the Hydro would have been okay. I don't know if that would have really saved us, though. Because we could have grabbed Hydro and then used Infectious Inquiry, but that would have, like, dealt the 2 damage that would probably also would have killed us. Probably needed to not bottom that weather, but I feel like, okay, so this is a keepable hand. We're going to go Sappers and Scary Hickory Woodlot. Probably going to try to go for turn 3 Prologue Contentious Plan. Okay, that's an okay start for them. Bit good. Okay, double Lava Dart. So it looks like they're going to try and go Gutter Snipe soon. That was a great draw. So what we might do then... No, that. Actually, if you wanted to do that, we should have played Sandstone Needle. So we'll just play the Sandstone Needle. We're going to need to hope to draw some type of... what's the word I'm looking for? So if they go Gutter Snipe, that's 3, 6... H... 14, we wouldn't be dead. So we're just going to go Prologue to Phyresis. Sandstone Needle. Contentious Plan. We're going to probably be looking to get a snap with this Merchant Scroll. We'll see. We might be forced to grab an island with this Thirsting Root. So in fact, I think that we will... Oh, we just draw the snap. That's great. So hopefully they play something we can snap. Now I'm looking just to proliferate with this. Okay, that is something we can snap. So snap's going to enable us to have a fairly large weather this turn, which is good, because we don't really have that great. We're probably still going to try a Merchant Scroll. Not for... maybe for a Hydro. We'll see. We have the Dispel for protection. We have the Thirsting Roots to proliferate, so we should be able to get a Vivisearcher's Insight off. So I'm going to go this, and I will play the Scary here. I don't think I will play an untapped land. And we'll go snap back your Kaseg Flame Breather using the red mana. If they go Pyro, we'll Dispel. Lightning Bolt at me. Okay, well, I'm not dispelling that. Okay, no response. What are they doing now? Are they considering going Fire Blast? If they Fire Blast, I'll dispel a Fire Blast. Okay, no response. Untap Scary, untap Woodlot. Thirsting Roots, cast, and proliferate. Alright. And now I need to think if I want to go Merchant Scroll or if I want to go Vivisearcher's Insight. I think the answer is Vivisearcher's Insight. Okay, done. Then tap, That gives me 5, so it's enough for me to Vivisurgence Insight and then go Weather. So this, and then 1 and 2. Here, 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 and here. Not a very good draw 3, unfortunately, but we do get to gain some life, so there's that. Put us up to 30. And we can Merchant Scroll for a draw 3. Hopefully they don't have double Pyro available. There is an argument for going Merchant Scroll, draw 3 there, because that would have enabled us to just gain 3 more life. But I feel like getting the 5 mana spell down under a Pyro is a good thing. So if they leave double red open, do we go Merchant Scroll? I think yes. Okay, and they just, what are they doing here? Does this say grab the prize? Yes, it is a grab the prize, discarding highway robbery. So they have a lot of card draw in hand, I guess. All right, next turn. That was pretty good. So now I think I'm not going to lead on the Merchant Scroll line. I'm going to lead on the Experimental Augury line. So blue, red. Snap is very, very tempting here. Is it better than a... Yeah, I'm actually going to take the snap. It slows them down. So we'll grab the snap. That lets us go... Yeah, we'll take the snap here. I think that's better than a Pentad Prism or a Cantrip, because we still have a draw 3 in hand, and maybe we can hit into another weather as well. All right, done. This also slows them down a little bit. So snap here, blue, red, untap, and untap. Then again here. We can go Merchant Scroll using the green. And we'll just grab this Focus the Mind. We need to draw well off this Focus the Mind. Then blue, green, and blue. We don't hit the weather. That's bad. So we're going to discard an island here. Right? Yeah, we'll discard an island. Play an island. Thirsting Roots, cast, Proliferate. I would have liked to have hit a weather there, but we did not hit a weather. And I am just going to cast this other Thirsting Roots now, even though it can gain us more life. Wait, 2, 4, 6. Actually, I'm not going to. I've changed my mind. Yeah, I've changed my mind. Okay. Because we can always gain 3 life with that if we hit a Weather the Storm, and like we flood out or something. Now we do have Dispel Protection, but they've drawn a lot of cards, so I'm concerned that they might be able to... Looking like Contentious Plan may have been the proper pick there, because we didn't actually get to use that mana from Snap. There was a gamble. Alright, we're at 22. They have 3 Lava Darts, which is 6 damage. We're going to go Vivisurgence Insight, bring them to H. That's funny. It's another snap. So we're probably going to snap back that Kaseg Flame Breather again. Here we go. Here we go. And we'll go Vivisurgence Insight, blue, red, red, blue. Not the best. They're at 7. Here, here, and here. Okay, and done. Snap back there, Kaseg Flame Breather. Untap Island, Hickory, Woodlot. Then this again, and we're gonna go green, blue. We have a forest in hand, so I'm just gonna go black, blue. And this is... Okay, so they are dead. Alright, good. Play forest. Alright, yeah, this is enough, right? 3, because that's 3, 5, 6. We have 7. So we'll just go Contentious Plan, Blue, green. Here. Done. And it's kind of like a tell that we have it because we're not proliferating anything. Okay, they're at 9, and then cast, proliferate. All right, winning game 1 against Madness Burn, which is admittedly a very favorable matchup. I don't know how high my win percentage is. I don't really data track, but it's but at a certain point it's been 90%. I'm thinking that probably it's around 80, maybe high 70s. It's a very good matchup for us. All right, so we are now 1-0 with this Poison Storm League, and I'll be back to record the other videos shortly. All right, we're back here for match 2 once we get someone to join. Hoping to be able to run back another 5-0 league. I've tried recording a Poison Storm leagues before, but a couple 4-1s, but I really wanted to get a 5-0 with it, or have my 4-1 be the last match, and that just never really worked out. So this time I'm probably just going to run it back regardless, because, you know, like there's still some good plays and whatnot. I had a really good 5-0 league recently, but unfortunately I wasn't recording for that one. So Tron's typically a good matchup. This isn't the best hand for it, but you know, it is what it is. I'm going to probably still play the Scary, even though we are looking for a way of getting black mana. Prophetic Prism, okay. Now I'll play the Sandstone Needle. And we'll go Augury, looking for a way of getting black mana. I'll still take the Pentad Prism over another Augury here, because that gives us black mana. Here and here. Okay, done. Now, is this... what type of Tron is this? Is this Monster Tron? Snap's pretty good against Monster Tron. This could also be a counterspell matchup. We're hoping it's not a counterspell matchup. And they have a Bonder's Ornament. Still could be anything. Not sure which flavor of Tron this is. We are going to be... Yeah, so we do need to... wait, actually we don't, because we can just go... I was going to say we have to Thirsting Roots first, but we have this Steady Progress to proliferate our lands with. So I'm actually not going to Thirsting Roots first. Instead, I'm just going to go Infectious Inquiry. And attempt... Hopefully there's no counterspell in our future, or a Dispel or something like that, so that we can proliferate using this Steady Progress. They have 2 mana available, which means they might be able to... Okay, Ancient Stirrings might tell us if we need to worry about a Dispel. It does not. Or Prohibit, or something like that. Alright, so we're going to go Island. I guess we could have waited on that island, but it doesn't quite matter. Pentad Prism. And now we can go for the Steady Progress, see if they counter it. It's our only card draw, though, so I guess we don't want to do that first. Instead, we want to go Thirsting Roots. Okay, cast and proliferate. We do need to hit some card draw. Very weak to counter magic at this point. The opponent is pausing a lot, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Done. And do some stuff on there. Well, you know what, I won't. I'll go Steady Progress here. Okay, they're F6'd. Okay, here we go, here we go. I don't know if I want to Weather. Answer is probably I do, because... Okay, another one, that's okay. Steady Progress. Yeah, we will Weather here. Gain some life, give us a bit of a buffer. Not that much against Monster Tron, though. Metamorphosis was okay, because that increases our weather count. And then green-blue for green-blue again. Green-blue. Okay, so the fun times stop here. We definitely need to draw into some card draw. Teach by Example wouldn't be the best draw here, although it does kind of protect us / double us up in the future. And we'll remove a green for a Weather the Storm. Probably going to snap whatever big thing they play. There's no reason to hold on to it. We've already cast a weather. They're at 5 infect. We have a decent amount. We have all of our colors in hand right now. Well, except for green, I guess. All right, they're going to expedition map. We want to keep them from dealing damage with creatures to us. This again, even if this isn't Monster Tron, this could be the Tron. I think even like Flicker Tron now does run the Brambleworm and like Pinnacle Kill Ship and such. So we'll know when they go Mystical Teachings. This looks like they have Mystical Teachings, if I had to guess what they have in hand here. Mystical Teachings for an Unwind would be a problem because we have hit a wall in terms of our card draw here. We still have lots of card draw left in the deck, though. So I'm not overly concerned, but if they just go like Unwind into Mnemonic Wall into Flicker, we're in a bit of trouble. So we are going to snap that back, I guess, yeah. Yeah, sure, we'll snap that back. It doesn't really make sense to leave it. Untap. Okay. And play a Swamp. We just don't want them to attack us quite yet. I mean, it saves 5 damage, just no real reason to hold on to the snap. Okay, and there's a Maelstrom Colossus. What do they hit? Breath Weapon, which does nothing. So that wasn't too bad for us. I'm imagining they'll be cracking these candy trails soon. So it is, in fact, Monster Tron. We will play an island, and we're not going to play this mountain. We're just going to hold it back. There's no reason to play a Pentad Prism here. We have tons of mana. We are in a little bit of trouble here, because they're coming in for a significant amount of damage, and we have just been straight missing on card draw. And we have a lot of non-card draw, too. We have a lot of card draw left in the deck, but we also have a lot of things that aren't card draw. You know what? I think I should have played this Pentad Prism, just in case we draw something that requires a lot of mana. Okay. So I'm guessing they're going to play something to crew that Pinnacle Kill Ship with now. Okay, that's 5, 6. Is this just an Ent? So they can put 5 counters on the Pinnacle Kill Ship. Not quite crewed yet. Alright, so there's our terrible draw I was talking about, of the Teach by Example. But if we draw a Vivid Surgeon's Insight, like that's on top of our library, ooh baby. So we have 1 turn from the looks of it to draw something significant, because they're coming through for 14 and then 20 odd, which is enough to kill us. So we need to hit card draw off the top. Any card draw we draw, we can duplicate with Teach by Example. Even if it's a Manamorphose, unfortunately, we will have to do that. So now they can crew their thing, come in for 14, 19, so we have 1 turn to hit card draw. I'm not overly concerned, because again, this is a very good matchup. But, you know, you can't always flood out. Are we just dead to a... No, that's a Generous Ent, not a Cavernous Torch. Okay, well, there we go. Literally the best possible draw. Teach by Example, and they're probably... No, they're probably dead now. Okay, Vivid Surge's Insight. 1, 2, and 3. Yield to all. Yield to all. 3 cards, and we hit a Weather, so that probably means they're not going to be dead next turn if we somehow miss on killing them. At least I think so. They have like an incredible amount of damage, so this Weather might not even be enough. Alright, however, we do have enough just to straight up kill them based on what we have in hand. Okay, and again, by the way, our Teach by Example is actually a draw 3 and a ritual, which is pretty sweet. So we're going to play this mountain now. And we just have enough to kill them without casting this Merchant Scroll, so I see no reason to cast the Merchant Scroll. Alright, Prologue, black, and white, Factus Inquiry, and black, black, and white, Factus Inquiry. So we got there. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Little touch and go there with our flood situation, but that'll happen with this deck. I don't know if this deck runs Pyroblast, and I suppose I might actually want Moment's Peace in here. Normally I wouldn't bring this in, but it can buy some turns if we hit into some flood problems. I was cutting both of my Steady Progress, but I think I'm just going to do a 1-in-1 split with teach by example steady progress, just in case we run out of proliferation. They probably do on Power Blast. I just don't think it's worth running a Hydro. They have Torch, but not really concerned. We could run Dispel because they are going to be bringing in that Exile from Existence, Scour from Existence. So that could be a problem. It's one of the reasons not to go for the Moment's Peace plan, because they could really limit our mana abilities. But I do like having this in here just to give us some insurance should we miss on card draw, be able to like fog for a couple turns. If we end up seeing the Flaring Pain out of them, then we're going to take out these Moment's Peace, because it's not really worth playing into Flaring Pain. And I imagine if they run Flaring Pain, they're bringing Flaring Pain in. And I'm not sure if these deck lists typically do run Flaring Pain. But if they see the Moment's Peace, maybe they'll bring it in. So there's might be an argument for taking it out game 3, particularly because we'll be on the play. Like maybe they bring in Flaring Pain and then we just cut the Moment's Peace. We no longer have it in our deck. Bring back in Steady Progress, teach by example. Yeah, that could be better. Like, but we'll see. Like you saw what happened earlier. Like that game, how we could have easily lost had there been a land on top of Vivisurgeon's Insight. Okay. If we see Pyroblast, then I'll probably bring in my Teach by example again, but I doubt I would bring in Hydro still. Depends on how much we see out of them. But maybe I would bring in some Dispels, actually, because it does hit Scour. So we're going to lead on the Sandstone Needle into Manamorphose into Pentad Prism. Then we're going to go Sapphiron Scary. That's also playing Sapphiron Scary, which I'm still going to lead on the Sandstone Needle. It's one of our least viable lands here. And then I'm going to go Experimental Augury before Infectious Inquiry. Okay, that's pretty good for us. They have the Forest. Now, they could destroy our Pentad Prism, but if they destroy our Pentad Prism, they destroy our Pentad Prism. It would mean we've put ourselves off of black mana with this Manamorphose. Now, they could have Tron next turn with a crop rotation. Prophetic Prism. That is not a Tron land. It doesn't mean they don't have a Tron land, though. So we'll just play the Sapphiron Scary. Go Manamorphose. And if they do destroy our Prism, we can cast... green and blue, we can cast the Experimental Augury to Pentad Prism. So pretty good start so far. We really like the hands where you draw lands. Now, you only run 12 of these, so, I mean, seeing 4 in the top whatever is, like, pretty... You'd think wouldn't be all that unlikely, but it does happen fairly frequently. Makes me wonder about the algorithm for online, because when I'm playing Burn, I seem to draw, like, tons of lands, too. Just doesn't really seem like that's the way it should be. Alright, next turn. We'll just play this Hickory Woodlot. That snap was a good draw. So we'll play Hickory Woodlot. And I am going to need to proliferate first here, right? Yes. So we'll go Experimental Augury here. Otherwise, we'll lose our lands. I'll take that Focus of Mine because we already have a Weather. And then we'll proliferate, 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 and proliferate. Done. Now, we're not really going to get... It's not mana efficient here. So... I don't think there's any reason to leave blue floating. Doesn't really matter over red, so let's leave red floating for no real reason. Then we'll pass the turn. So we're going to need to play this mountain next turn so that we can just cast this Vivisurgeon's Insight. And here is where a Pyroblast would actually be extremely problematic for us. So if they leave open, they just leave open mana here, I don't know if we go for it. But the problem is they can also Scour, and then we're in huge amounts of trouble. So I do think I am going to go Vivisurgeon's Insight here. They might be able to get us with a... Okay, well, they're just tapping out. So, yeah, so we're going to play the mountain. We're going to go Vivisurgeon's Insight. Draw 3. And that is a Teach by example, so we can draw 6 cards next turn. We do need to discard 2 cards here. Oh, don't forget to proliferate them. Okay, and done. But I think that's fine. And we're also going to go Contentious Plan again. And maybe we can... I don't want to go weather just to avoid discarding. I don't mind discarding 2 Hickory Woodlot. Or should we discard the island? And we'll do another contentious plan here as well. We're not going to dead our Prism to a thing. I think I will be Island plus Hickory Woodlot, because if they do have Scour from Existence... Oh, well now we want to discard 1 card, so it's going to be 1 Hickory Woodlot. Cast and Proliferate. Pretty good draw in that Thirsting Roots here. Alright, 5, meaning we don't have to discard nearly as much. Oh, and they just concede because of how long it takes to proliferate lands. Alright. So we did end up getting there. I feel like we were going to get there pretty easily. We were drawing 6 cards next turn. Alright, return to details. We are now 2-0. Let's run it back. Hopefully I won't have any audio issues. One of the reasons why I'd like to take breaks between games is because it means that if I have an audio issue for some reason, I can always, like, it will be contained to that one match, and I'll have an easier time fixing it. Here we have... Waiting for... Yeah, we're just still waiting here. Waiting for our opponent. There's our list. What can I... Okay, here we go. We got paired, so I didn't have to think about something to talk about. I think I had things I wanted to talk about before, so I'll have to remember that for when I film the intro for this. Pretty decent. We'll keep it. Probably still leading on Savage and Scary, although... You know what? No, I'll lead on the Hickory Woodlot, because Hickory Woodlot... If you draw... Oh, actually, there's no reason to lead in... Never mind, there's no reason to lead in the Hickory Woodlot. It should have been the Sappers and Scary. Or... Yeah, it should have been the Sappers and Scary there. Because there's no way for us... Because if we... Let's say we do draw mana... Oh, no, is this Ponza? Okay, it could still be Ponza, but it's probably Bogles, which is also not very good for us. Play Sappers and Scary. We're not going to be able to do too much here with our mana. I don't really want to go Merchant Scroll for Experimental Augury, but that is something you could do. Alright. So, Bogles is that thing I haven't faced in a while, so it makes sense that I'd be seeing it now. Okay, what is happening? Is this... Alright, so I'm assuming they kept a very powerful enchantment hand, and we are swiftly running out of time. So we're going to play this Sandstone Needle. We could go Merchant Scroll for Experimental Augury here to try and dig us into a Pentad Prism. But we wouldn't... You know what? I talked myself into it, because finding a Pentad Prism would be pretty nice. Although this is good for Weather the Storm shenanigans. Okay, I am going to go Merchant Scroll here for Experimental Augury. I just feel like I need to do something. That might be a mistake, though, because like we don't really have any good spells for Weather the Storm. Okay, what is happening? Okay, we're going to grab Experimental Augury here. We're going to go Augury. And we'll just... Okay, I guess we want... I want more lands. I will draw black mana for this Infectious Inquiry at some point, any order. But I'd rather just have more lands on the table, so that we can have a larger weather. Because if this is Bogles, we're going to need quite the weather in order to get them. We have to hope that we're not dead in one swing from a Bogle. I'm assuming this is Bogles. This could be something else entirely, though. Yeah, this has to be Bogles. Okay. Looking like Serene Heart would be pretty nice, but again, this is... Okay, so they have no creatures. That's good for us. So we're going to go Sappers and Scary. And we could have held on to that, because, you know, we do need black mana, but I'm just not all that concerned. We are going to have to discard at least one card here. Okay, so there's our Pentad Prism. That's great. We're going to discard our island here. Okay, done. And we'll discard the island. Wait, we've played a land, yes, so we'll discard the island. And we're going to have to hope that our weathers can keep us alive. We're probably going to need to draw multiple weathers. Now, if they run Aura Knowledge, I might... I don't know, I think it was still right for me to go for the Experimental Augury there. Okay, what are they doing? They have something. Looks like they kept a hand. Okay, there is something they can enchant. So now we would like to find a snap. So we're going to go Pentad Prism into Experimental Augury. We've already used our Merchant Scroll. So we only have 3 snaps available right now. Because Merchant Scroll could be a snap. We're going to go Pentad Prism, Infectious Inquiry, Experimental Augury. I have to imagine we're dead if they even swing at once, because they probably have like an incredible amount of enchantments. They can probably deal like well over 20 odd damage with what they have. Like I imagine they have like multiple copies of like Mask. Okay, well that was weird. All right, next turn. All right, do we have a snap? Give me a snap. So if I had snap, I would hold it. We have double weather though, so we'll likely be firing off 2 weathers to try and keep us alive, and then hope to dig into a snap with our Vivisurgeon's Insight. So we're going to go Pentad Prism. Done. So we have 6 mana right now. I still think we should cast that puts us to 3. So if we want to cast double weather, it makes more sense to go, okay, so this is hard. So that's 6 mana, 7 mana. This puts us to 8 mana. That's 5. 1, 2. I am going to go with the one that draws more cards here. All right, Infectious Inquiry, black, red, blue. Okay, that was a good draw. And that Manamorphose and that Experimental Augury. We're going to go green here. Green. That was a good draw with that untapped land. We can probably do more with this weather because of that. We're going to try and find a snap. We'll just take a Contentious Plan. We have enough draw 3s. Another good pickup here. Any order. Proliferate. Here, 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 and here. Okay, and done. Snap would be nice because it would mean that we would get... they wouldn't be able to attack again this turn. I don't think they do haste. So blue and red. We do want to double weather. We need to remember that. We have double thirsting root. We have double... Okay, so can we double weather here without deading our prism? We already have double Vivisurgeon's Insight. I'm just going to pick this Thirsting Roots for mana efficiency. And we can no longer double weather as well, so that's a reason for taking this Thirsting Roots too. Just to put us up on life a little bit. Here, here, here. We don't want to dead this prism. Because it's our black mana right now. Okay, and done. That's at 3. That lets me go for a blue... we're going to go Contentious Plan first because we could draw another Pentad Prism and then Thirsting Roots. Okay, here, 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 here. We're going to have to hope that the life we're going to gain here is going to be enough. I don't know if it's going to be because they kept a hand with no creatures, which tells me they might have like double Ancestral Mask. And they have so many enchantments that it's going to be tons of damage here. Here, and then here, 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 and here. And then done. And now we're going to go weather here. We have to hope that weather's enough to keep us alive. I'm not sure that it's going to be. They might be able to deal like 40 damage. They have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enchantments. They could easily deal like 42 damage, I think. So they have, that is, they don't have enough to go double mask, so they probably won't be able to kill us. But if they go like double Ethereal Armor into mask, okay, so that's a free enchantment. They still don't have enough to go double mask, but they can go double Ethereal Armor into mask, which would be enough to kill us. We do have the draw, we do have 2 draw 3s in our hand. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and then whatever mana that Pentad Prism represents. This is not a good matchup for us, though. It's one of the reasons why I wanted Serene Heart in the somewhere in the sideboard with that thing, with that plan. However, Bogles does have a fair bit of consistency issues. If they go at all into this, okay, there's 1 Ethereal Armor. Is there a second Ethereal Armor in my future? Okay, so we could be dead here. I think a mask does kill us. Here's a mask, yeah. No, 36, it doesn't kill us. Excellent, excellent. Excellent. So now we're really want to draw a snap. Okay, so we're not dead. That's good. Okay, we're at 6. Do we hit snap? So basically it's snap or bust, or also just kill them. So this, we need to hit pretty well here. So Vivid Surgeon's Insight, we'll use our red mana. Yeah, we'll use our red mana. Come on, snap. All right, don't hit snap, but we do hit another Pentad Prism, which is good. That makes this in an untapped land, so that gives us more mana, which is also good. All right, done. We'll play this Pentad Prism. Done. We really need to hit a snap or be able to kill them. Right now, we might just be able to kill them, actually. Play the island. We could just go Vivisurge's Insight now, and I think we should, because that would kill them. Yeah, so they are dead. All right, so Vivisurge's Insight. Yeah, they're dead. All right, this, here, and here. And done. I am going to play this Pentad Prism still, because we can, because just in case I've miscounted or something. All right, Pentad Prism, green and blue. Done. And then green, Thirsting Roots cast, Proliferate. That puts them to 8. And then 1, 2, 3. Done. Now we can go Contentious Plan, blue. And funnily enough, we could attempt to survive another turn here. But, I mean, there's no reason to. Here, and then here, here, here. We also don't need to proliferate on our prisms right now, but I am anyway. And then blue and white for a prologue. So we stole game 1 against Bogles. They kept a creatureless hand, but with just tons of action. So now we need to steal some post-board games. So now this deck can just lose to itself. So there is that. Now the question is, do I leave in snap? Because we were like desperate for a snap that game. I feel like the answer is no. I think trying to get that is just like a bad idea. We could bring in Dispel in order to stop their Flaring Pain if they don't have mana to flash it back, or we could go for the pipe dream of having a Breath Weapon. I feel like Dispel's better. They also might have something like a Pyroblast. So we'll leave in a Dispel. We could also leave in 1 snap for just in case they go for like, hey, Bogles everything onto our spawn token. They didn't see any removal there. And is really Dispelling a Flaring Pain even really going to work? I'm going to leave in 1 snap on the off chance that they decide to Bogles up a spawn token, and then we can Merchant Scroll for it to snap it back. I feel like that's kind of wishful thinking, but we'll see. So this is a good hand. We're going to keep it. We're going to go Hickory Woodlot into Sappers and Scary, and we're going to need to try and be a little faster here. All right. Hickory Woodlot. We're not going to go turn 2 Island Pentad Prism for a couple of reasons. 1, they could have Artifact Destruction. And 2, okay, what do they have here? Okay, so they have the mana they need. This is going to be an Ethereal Armor, if I had to guess. So we need to hit Fogs or Weathers to stay alive. So they come in for 3. We need to hope that they can't come in for a lot. All right. There we go. Another Pentad Prism's great. We'll play a Sappers and Scary. We're going to go double Pentad Prism into Experimental Augury. If we draw the Fog, we'll have to take the Fog. Playing Sappers and Scary. So they might be missing a 3rd land as well for their more powerful... Well, Ethereal Armor is incredibly powerful as it is. I have to imagine that we're likely dead next turn. Okay, there is their Malevolent Rumble. They hit the Ancestral Mask. That would deal... Depending if they... Okay, do they take the armor or the mask? I think... Let's see. What do they take? They take a Glade Cover Scout? This is their graveyard. They revealed... Okay, what did they take? Because there's Ethereal Armor. There's Ancestral... Oh, that's a reveal. They took the Ancestral Mask. Okay, that's their graveyard. All right, I was looking at it in the reverse. All right. So that is 2, 4, 6. So 11. So right now I'd be at 1, but even a single enchantment would kill us. They don't really... So that's 11. No, +1 because of Ethereal Armor. That is exactly lethal. So we need to hit weather or something else this turn. Well, there's weather, so that will hopefully keep us alive to live another day to hopefully draw into some fogs. Play another Pentad Prism. We're not going to play our Saps and Scary because there's a chance we want to play our island. Done. And we have the Experimental Augury. We'll take this Prologue because that's the only good thing there. Any order. And proliferate. We're not going to Prologue yet. Okay, and done. Fog is basically fog or bust. We can stay alive for one more turn using this Weather the Storm. Okay, so we gain some life. We're not dead this turn then. Unless they have another Ethereal Armor. Then we could be dead. I believe that would kill us if they have another Ethereal Armor in hand. If they go Ethereal Armor plus Ancestral Mask, we're probably dead. I was not going to dead the prisms to try and avoid that, though. Even if that would have avoided it, which I don't think it would, because we need these around in order to be able to go Vivisurgent's Insight and leave open Fog if we draw Moment's Peace. I don't think that Weather the Storm's going to cut it, although it might be able to buy us another turn. We'll see. We're probably going to cut our... now that we're on the play, I'm thinking I'm probably going to bring in the Singleton Breath Weapon, because it is possible to have Breath Weapon up. Okay, so they do that. Or should it just be the Dispel? I'm having such a hard time thinking of that, because like it's not like they're guaranteed to have easy red... Oh, okay, good. I thought that was an Ethereal Armor for a second. It's not, so that was lucky. Okay, there's Mask. They get him for 16. We can probably gain more than 16, so if they don't have anything else in hand, Weather might be able to do it. Alright, let's see. We need to have a really good Vivisurge's Insight here. Alright, that was pretty good finding another Vivisurge's Insight, I think. We'll see how much mana we have. Blue. This. Okay, another Weather was good. Here, here, here. That might be able to buy us another turn. Okay, and... done. Now I need to think here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think I can't afford to prologue them first, right? So if I go prologue, yeah, because then that means that I wouldn't be able to cast this Vivisurge's Insight, which we just kind of need to cast. So we're going to play this island. Unfortunately, we cannot get them infected and cast this Vivisurge's Insight, and I'd rather draw the 3. So we've got to proliferate first here, because that put 3 here, and that's 1, 2, 4, 5. All right, so that will let us draw 3 more, and maybe we can hit the fog going forward. Like, if we have to cast this prologue, would have been nice to be able to get them infected first, but we just don't have that luxury. Okay, done. Blue, 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 4, and 5. Vivisurge's Insight, hoping to draw a fog. We don't hit the fog. So let me count here. So if I gain 12, this puts me to 20. Okay, and done. I could dead the Prism. So I think I am going to dead the Prism here because one more enchantment is 18, right? Or more, depending on how much they pump. So let's say... should I dead a Prism in order to give myself 3 more life? Because that puts me not dead to a single thing. I think the answer is yes. We have another Prism here. I'd have to dead both my Prisms. So this would put me up to 20. If they have any enchantment off the top would then kill me. No, it wouldn't, because it puts me to 20. So I'm not going to. Instead, I'm just going to go... Or I could hope to draw the fog off the... You know what? I'm just going to go Weather. If they have the ability to kill us, they have the ability to kill us. We're getting 12 here, up to 20. So, yeah. So we'll just go weather. Hope we're not dead. I would like to give myself more stuff to do for the next turn. So let's see here. Can they kill us? There's a lot of ways of killing us here. Yeah, another mask doesn't make a difference. All right, concede game. So they get us game 2. Kind of, yeah. With a decent draw out of them. Let's see, what was our top card? It was not a moment's peace, so not right to go that thing there. Now, I think it's getting rid of Snap. We're going to bring in a Dispel. And we're going to resubmit. We're bringing in the Dispel because we can use it to, Flaring Pain or Artifact Destruction, something like that. So Bogles has a lot of consistency issues. So that's kind of what we're hoping out of them. Oh, man, that's bad. We also have consistency issues. Oh, no. Okay, so we need to keep this. We're going to bottom the... Probably the Merchant Scroll, I guess. No, we'll bottom the Steady Progress, I guess. Okay, keep... Because we have a decent amount of proliferation. Bottom the Steady Progress. The saving grace of this hand is that it has a Moment's Peace in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go Sappers and Scary, Experimental Augury, hope to hit a green, like at a Hickory Woodlot. Okay, did our opponent mulligan? They mulligan to 6. Okay, we'll play Sappers and Scary. Let's see here. They go Forest into Slippery Bogle. So slippery. Hopefully we hit a land. We desperately need a land. We hit another Sappers and Scary, not the best land. So we'll take the Scary. Any order. Proliferate here. We're going to need to Merchant Scroll for an Augury in order to try and hit a Hickory Woodlot or an off-color land to potentially use our Merchant Scroll. So let's see if they have a hand that actually does something. They're pausing a lot, so it probably means only have the... Okay, no, they do have 2 lands. I guess they're just AFK. Okay, so they have a good hand. What color did they choose? Probably white. Let's see how good their hand is, though. Yeah, white. Because generally speaking, I haven't really played Bogles in a very long time, but back in the day, from my experience with Bogles, it was like 1 out of 3 hands were good. This player has managed to hit 2 out of 3 good hands. Okay, there's a Metamorphose. That means that any land off the top could get us a Fog. The problem is, Fog might not be enough to, do anything, because... they have a pretty fast clock. Okay, there's a Hickory Woodlot. So putting that Moment's Peace to the bottom kind of is unfortunate, but we need this Hickory Woodlot. Any order. Here and here. And now we have a problem. Since we had such a slow start, we're going to have issues leaving open the Moment's Peace. Now, there's their 3rd land, so they're going to be able to go... not Ethereal Armor. Oh, yeah, well, I guess technically, yes, Ethereal Armor. And do they also have another... And, okay, so we're just dead. Opponent drew the nuts game 3, unfortunately, so we're going 1-1 against Bogles. A deck that I have no respect for, to be honest, just because there are certain decks that feel like you're just trying to get lucky, and Bogles is one of them. So we're 2-1. The odds, because and here's why I say that. They run 12 creatures. The odds of seeing one of those creatures with lands and colors, you're looking at about maybe 40%, if you look at the hypergeometric distribution. But, sometimes we have hot runs, and it works out. So that's unfortunately we lost to a luck deck, but, that's Magic. And that's why some people like to play. They don't like to think, they just like to get... I shouldn't get so salty. Bogles is one of those thoughtless decks that doesn't take very much thinking. And that's fine, too. We're going to play a Sandstone Needle. So unfortunately, we're not going to get to 5-0. But let's see if we can't pick up a 4-1 here. Oh no, is this into Ponza? Ponza would be really bad. So we're going to hope to spike a tap land here so that we can get this Pentad Prism down. All right, green and blue. All right, that's also okay, because then we can still go Prism here. In fact, we can go double Prism. So we're going to go Prism. Done. And white, pentad prism, and done. Okay, they go double forest, and they go gatekeeper vine. So this is spy. I'm way more comfortable with spy than I am. What's it called? Okay, white. Now I am fine drawing more lands here, so I think I'm just going to go contentious plan. Here, here, and here. Let's see if we hit another land. We don't. We hit a weather, which could be good. And then we'll go blue. And, if we need to discard, we're going to discard this Manamorphose. I'm actually going to Manamorphose first for that reason. Okay. Then green, blue. There's a Hickory Woodlot. So we'll probably be playing that. Yeah, so focus the mind first. Discarding what here? I like having double weather against spy. So I guess it's the contentious plan at this point. Yeah, okay, so discard contentious plan because I feel like I need more card draw and we have another proliferation spell anyway. And we'll pass it back. Double weather means you might be able to get them. Okay, so this is not spy. I don't think I would have taken anything back too much that I've done. But we do need to go experimental augury before we infectious inquiry them. And we could take infectious inquiry here. And I think I will. I will also want that scary, but I also don't want to run out of card draw. Okay, and we can probably hit some more lands, although that scary is a really valuable one. So now perhaps not picking the extra proliferation spell might come to bite us here. Red, red. Okay, we're going to go black, white again for another infectious inquiry. Okay, that was good. We'll play this Sappers and Scary. We'll pass the turn back. I doubt they'll be able to kill us. They go Heap Gate. And what are they doing here? Another Llanowar Visionary. Anything else? Not so much. Okay, and they have Journey to Nowhere, don't care. I guess they take the Sacred Cat. No, they would take a land over the Sacred Cat. Alright, so that was pretty good. We have Snap available. This is a neutral play, but just in case we have, and I'm going to get rid of these things here. It's crowding everything together. So just because we have a green, blue, and we'll go green and blue, right? Yeah, green and blue. Yeah, I did that first because we could have another Pentad Prism on top. And for that reason, I'm also going to lead on this Steady Progress as well. Because Pentad Prism isn't something I would choose, but it was something I'd be fine to have. So it's on the top of our library. I'm fine drawing into it, but it's not something I would choose with the... Oh, wow. Can we... No, we can't, unfortunately. Actually, we can because we have Snap. So we're going to snap back... Actually, first we're going to tap this. And we're going to go Experimental Augury. And here, because we have so much card draw already, we're just going to take the Thirsting Roots. Any order. Proliferate here, 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 and here. That gives us more mana. Okay, and done. Then we're going to snap back their mana here. I know they get the draw card, but I'm kind of fine with that. Untap and untap. Make more mana. Snap back their other one. Snap here, here, and here. Untap and untap. And then we'll tap this again. And we'll go Teach by Example into Vivid Surgeon's Insight, which will probably just win us the game. Vivid Surgeon's Insight. Yeah, because with two Pentad Prisms floating, like, we're going to be able to cast whatever it is we draw All right, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. And done. And there we go, there we go, there we go. And there we go, there we go, there we go. And done. All right, so we're going to play the swamp. And they are actually dead, so, I mean, we'll just kill them. Contentious plan. Here, here, here. Hoping to avoid casting this augury because it involves the most amount of clicks. So we'll just show them a Vivid Searcher's Insight. Maybe they'll concede to that. Alright, blue, blue. 5. Vivid Searcher's Insight. Okay, they are dead set on not conceding. That's fine. And we're going to go green for a Thirsting Roots, and then we'll finish them with Prologue. Proliferate, cast. Here, and we're not going to bother proliferating our Pentad Prisms because there's enough mana. Blue and white and Prologue to Phyresis. This is a good matchup. Now, Bogles is a bad matchup for us, and I mentioned how it's like, like a luck-based strategy or whatever. But you do have the mulligans, so I should correct myself there. Like, you are trying to mulligan, and you are trying to leverage the London mulligan when you're playing that deck. So there is that. It's just, I just am shocked every time I see that they actually get to keep 6 or 7 cards in their hand with only 12 creatures and like have like ethereal armor into the other thing. I mean, it seems like they get that quite a lot when the odds of that happening are like super low, like less than 50. So that's, yeah, I feel the same way about Ponza, by the way. But any of those matchups. So here, I don't know what to do. Because I'm not really sure what I'm playing against. Okay, they just concede the match because I took too long to sideboard. Well, that was fair. I had no idea what I was doing against them anyway. So that's nice. That saves some time for the video. And we'll move on to match 5. They're bitterly disappointed that we paired into Bogles, which again is not a good matchup for us. You basically need to hope that their deck like Turtles, which you should do, I think, about, I don't know, like 60% of the time? I have no idea. But back in the day, now Bogles has changed a lot. That's what it seemed like to me. Every time I played against Bogles, it seemed to turtle like a lot. By turtle, I mean just like not function as a deck. Of course, I said that, then my deck kind of didn't function because I had like Sappers and Scary into Experimental Augury, and it just like took me too long to set up. Unfortunately, we were pretty close to being able to get their game 2, but we would have needed to hit a Moment's Peace in the top thing. I think had we hit a Moment's Peace, we probably would have been in fairly good shape, but we did not, unfortunately. And we just don't run any interaction for Bogles because it's not really that much of a played deck anymore. It's like less than Poison Storm percentage of the meta. And again, I think the reason for that is for a couple of reasons. One, there's decks with similar play patterns that are more consistent that people would rather play. And 2, the consistency issue with Bogles is pretty intense. Yeah, it's just not that likely for you to have, like you saw what happened game 1. They kept a hand without a creature because, how likely are they to draw creatures? We'll keep this. Not the best. I really don't like these Thirsting Roots to grab for land hands, but it is something that we need to do. All right, so this is Burn, and it is Rally Burn. Rally Burn is better against us than the other Burn. We do have snaps. We're hoping to use those snaps with the weather. We don't hit a good land, so this is a bit of a problem because we have Snap in hand. I don't think snapping back a Clockwork Percussionist is where we're at is a really good idea at all. Mostly because, for many reasons, not just because we did that, we'd have to sacrifice our Hickory Woodlot. Oh boy. So it's either Manamorphose, trying to dig for another land, or Thirsting Roots to guaranteed have a land available. I am just going to take the Thirsting Roots here to guarantee a land drop. Any order, Proliferate, because if we miss on land drops, that's really bad. Manamorphose would also be nice. It's a higher risk play, but Manamorphose I like because of Weather the Storm. And we don't necessarily have the weather in hand. So I am into snapping back this Goblin, whatever it's called now, Goblin Tomb Raider, because they are literally casting out one spell a turn. We have 4 mana now, so we can go this. I will snap back your Goblin Tomb Raider. Untap. I'm going to go Experimental Augury. Take this Pentad Prism, any order, and proliferate. We can also snap back their other dude and just take them off the table. I don't know if I want to do that, though. I'm going to play this Mountain. I'm going to play this Pentad Prism, and I'm just going to proliferate. And next turn we can snap into Vivisurgeon's Insight. Although, we wouldn't really gain that much mana from that. Proliferate. Okay. And done. So we can go Vivisurgeon's Insight next turn into... into Snack, so we still have 3. So I guess that's what we do. We're just going to snap back this Goblin Tomb Raider. Like, they only have 1 land, so snapping it back is just kind of like not time walking them because it has haste, but it does put them off of putting more things on the board. There's a Weather the Storm. That's something we wanted to see. Should I go snap Infectious Inquiry then? So if I go Infectious Inquiry, black. If I go Infectious Inquiry, 1, 2, 3, that's 2 floating. Snap untaps there. I'd have to lose my thing. I don't know how into that I am. I think I'm going to hold off on the initial infect just to set up my mana a little better. Okay, that was pretty good. And that makes our snap a lot better. Okay, done. We'll play this. Then we'll go blue and white. And we'll snap back their dude. Untap and untap. Now the question is, can I... What's happening? Are they conceding? No. Alright, Pentad Prism. We do want to weather here. So I think, do we just weather for 3? Yeah, we weather for 3 because we don't actually want to take that many counters off of our or I guess 4, because we don't want to take that many counters off of our Pentad Prism. And we'll go Infectious Inquiry. Okay, here comes the Goblin Tomb Raider again. Alright. They get in. And they are really missing on lands here. They're kind of getting stuffed. Alright, so I'm not going to play this Pentad Prism. Instead, I'm just going to go black. We need to hope to hit some proliferation soon. That's not proliferation, although it is another Weather the Storm. We are going to try to... I don't know how slowly I should take this, though. Like, I do have a weather. I'm going down to 17. Like, should I dead a prism just to draw 2? Alright, so this... should I save this for Weather the Storm? I'm going to play another Pentad Prism and take it a little slower. I believe that with this Weather the Storm, I can afford to do that. And if I need to sacrifice a land, I need to sacrifice a land. What I'm hoping for is that there's a proliferation spell within the top 2 cards of my library. I don't mind going down to 11 here. By the way, our opponent probably would have killed us if he had... well, actually, I don't know. Maybe I would have played differently if they had more than 1 land. We're at 11. I guess they're holding that open in case they're worried about yet another snap. They can bolt their own creature. No, there's no way. There's no way they would do that. I don't want to go down to 9 because a second spell would probably kill us. Like, we definitely need to snap off a weather here. Alright, so we hit a proliferation spell. That was awesome. So we'll go Manamorphose first because we could always have a 4th Pentad Prism. Right, green... Although, would I even... No, I wouldn't even cast a 4th Pentad Prism here. Right, Contentious Plan. Here, and then here, here. I imagine they're going to concede to this weather that's coming up. Okay, and done. And that's another Pentad Prism. Not Pentad Prism, Manamorphose. Green, blue, and then we're going to go green, blue, black. Green, well, black, not green, blue, black. That only adds 2 mana. And there we go for this. Putting them down. Okay. This is neutral, so we're going to go steady progress now. Okay, steady progress. I'm up to 4. And proliferate, 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 proliferate. Done. That's the second weather. That's really good. I think I will play this Peepog. Because we have multiple weathers, it doesn't really matter if we, like, hit super well here. And we'll just go proliferate here. Actually, yeah, we'll proliferate here. I mean, like, we could hit another Pentad Prism, but it's not like it's that important. And I might just double weather and then do stuff next turn with my mana. Done. Like, we have 4 10 mana. So that's 7. So we can actually go black, this, and that's 1, 2. That's 1, 1, 2. So this is enough for us to go Infector Synchro into double weather. Okay, so green and white. Weather the storm. No response. I don't think there's any reason to, like, yeah, we should have just done, they don't have 4 damage at instant speed with 1 thing on the table. I imagine this gets a concession. We're just gaining so much life here. Alright, 55 life. They have a lot of cards in hand. Maybe they think they can work through it. They finally hit their second land. And they go BTE into Rally, I would assume. And they get in. We're at 48. We're hoping to draw a spell off the top, so we don't have to... Okay, that was a good spell to draw. And we're going to go Vivid Surgeon's Insight. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3. Done. Blue this. Then blue and blue for another Vivid Surgeon's Insight. And they're dead. Alright, so that was nice. And it'd be super nice if you could just show your... There should be Show My Hand button that you can click in order just to shortcut these things. Green, like before the game's over is what I'm trying to say. I don't know why I'm Manamorphosing here. I think I'm just trying to draw into something that's... Yeah, I shouldn't have Manamorphosed here. That was... Yeah, okay. Well, they concede to the Manamorphose anyway, which is nice of them. Alright. And now we will go Hydro, Breath Weapon, and a couple moments piece. I have seen this list run Flaring Pain in the past, but I feel like it's still worth it. And we're going to cut 2 Steady Progress and 2 Teach by Example. We're cutting the Teach by Example because Hydroblast is taking its place. They fulfill similar roles in terms of like protecting our spells, but Hydroblast can also be like counter something like a Goblin Bushwhacker when we don't have Moment's Peace or Breath Weapon available. Unkeepable, we got to mulligan that. Keepable has... We'll get rid... Oh. Should I get rid of this mountain? I really don't want to get rid of the Sappers Scary. But I guess I need this mountain because we have Breath Weapon in our deck. So we'll lead on the Scary. Okay. I mean, yes, we have Manamorphose, Pentad Prism, Thirsting Rootseed. There's an argument for putting back the mountain. But I just think it's better to do that. Now, I did play Scary first. There's an argument for going Hickory Woodlot first. Because if we do draw the Breath Weapon, we're inclined to play Mountain Breath Weapon. And then we... Okay, so if they don't tap this, it means they have Pyro in hand. They do tap it. We're at 13. Do we draw the Breath Weapon? We don't. So there's no need for... So I'm just going to go Hickory Woodlot here. And next turn, we're priced into going Weather the Storm. So let's see. How much damage is this? There's Rally the Hornburg. Do they have Rally the Hornburg into something? No, they don't. So we need to go Weather the Storm here. That much we know. We have Hydroblast. So I guess we can... So we have 2, 4, 5 mana. So we need to proliferate, focus the mind. We don't have 6 mana. We only have that much mana. So we need to go Hydroblast, I guess, just to gain some life. All right, so I suppose that's what we're doing. So we'll go lead on the Hydroblast, cast, destroy. Wait, let me think. Can I cast this Focus the Mind here? That's 3, 4. No, we can't because we only have 5 mana. So we need to go Hydroblast here. We don't need to, but I think we should. Kill your Goblin Tomb Raider. They might Pyro. Okay, they don't Pyro. Then we can go Thirsting Roots, cast Proliferate. Here and here. Done. And then we can go Weather the Storm, gain 9 life. Not the best weather, not the best use of Hydro, but I felt like that's what we were pressured into doing here. And hopefully we can draw into a Breath Weapon. Of note, they are leaving open 1 red mana, so I suspect they have a Pyro. But it's not like we have a choice here. We're just going to have to play into it. Okay, so we can play around it slightly. We can go Experimental Augury here. Okay, do we want this Moments Piece? So the problem with taking the Moments Piece... So the problem with taking the Pentad Prism is that they might be holding some type of destruction. I think I do want this Pentad Prism, though. Moments Piece is tempting. Any order. Another reason why Moments Piece would be tempting is because it lets us... and I guess I do go Pentad Prism, but if they have destruction, that feels bad, so I'm not going to. Instead, I'm just going to Focus the Mind. And I'm going to discard this island. I'm going to play this Sandstone Needle. They're going to come in for some number of damage. So they don't have Pyroblast. They go this. Now they have Pyroblast, but it's only for this turn. We're down to 11. We really want to hit a Breath Weapon or another Weather. Moments Piece would also be okay. So we're going to go Pentad Prism. I don't want to go Infectious Inquiry yet, because that would put us down to 9, which puts us down to 6, which would put us probably dead. I am going to play the Hickory Woodlot, and I'm going to go Vivisurgent's Insight. And we're going to go blue-green if they destroy our Pentad Prism. Oh, it is a Smash to Smithereens too. That's not good. Blue, green. That was the reason for taking the Moments Piece over the Pentad Prism. Okay, no response. We're going down to 5 next turn. We could easily be dead. Oh boy, there's a Moments Piece, which I would have liked to have in hand in case they have like a Bushwhacker or something. Okay, done. And I could try and knock the top of my deck, or I could hold this Metamorphosis later. I'm going to try and knock the top of my deck. I'm not particularly inclined to cast this Infectious Inquiry anyway. Green, blue. Alright, Contentious Plan. Here, here, here. Probably dead. I have to imagine we're probably dead. There's a Thirsting Root. So we can grab the swamp with this Thirsting Roots. Problem is that's going to put us probably dead. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to hope to try and draw into another Weather. We're going down to 5. That's not a Bushwhacker. So we could still be dead to double Bolt, or like Gal Blast plus Bolt. It's looking like they might just have multiple copies of something in their hand. There's absolutely no way we're going to go... we're going to go Infectious Inquiry here. So instead we're just going to play this Sandstone Needle, pass the turn. And hope to draw into a Weather sooner rather than later. Okay, they go for that. We're going to go Moments Piece. We'll see if they have Flaring Pain here. Okay, declare blockers. No blockers. End step, we're going to attempt to go Prologue to Phyresis. There's a Vivisurge's Insight, not too bad. Alright, we'll try that. 3, 4, 5. Vivisurge's Insight. There's a Breath Weapon. Okay, we're going to probably cast that Breath Weapon. Okay, done. We're not casting this Pentad Prism because I suspect they have more than 1 Smash to Smithereens in hand. We have the option of trying to draw into Weather the Storm in response to any Bolt effects. And I think actually we still just fog here because we don't want to give them a card off of their Clockwork Percussionist. Well, we're at 5 life. Moment's Peace. Green. Also, they're not tapping out anymore, so I'm assuming that they actually have lethal. So we're probably going to need to draw into more more Weather Storms. More than one is what I'm trying to say here. Okay, there's BTE. Wonder if they tap out here. That would be best case scenario. They tap out because then we could afford to cast some of these Infectious Inquiries. No, they don't tap out. All right, next turn. Okay. There's a weather. There's one weather. I'm going to play this Pentad Prism, because if they tap at... Well, actually, should I play the Pentad Prism first? I suspect they have a Smash to Smithereens. So allowing me to play the Pentad Prism first would let me go weather, but I would need to do a lot of stuff at instant speed. I'll lead on the Manamorphose first. So red, red, and we'll go blue, blue. Yeah. Blue and blue. Man, that's a lot of Infectious Increase. All right, and we'll go red and blue here. Done. The goal here is to get them to tap their double mana so we can go Weather the Storm in response to their Smash to Smithereens. And we'll go Contentious Plan now. Let's see if they tap. Okay, so I think they have Smash, but they are choosing just to leave open some interaction, unfortunately. We do need to hit here. Okay, so we're still looking for another weather off the top. Manamorphose, we'll take that. Any order. Proliferation. Proliferate, 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 proliferate. Making this Pentad Prism really juicy for them, but I don't think they're going to bite. Alright, Manamorphose. We've already seen one weather, so there's only like 2 more weathers left in the deck, so I'm not sure how well this is going to work. Alright, so we'll go... So we have 3 things. That's 4. We might be able to just hold Weather the Storm till the last. Let's go blue and green here. That's another Augury. That's okay. Augury. And there's a second weather. So I'm not too concerned now. And we needed the second weather because I greatly suspect that they have the ability to kill us in response to 1 weather. I doubt they have the ability to kill us in response to 2. So now that we have done that, we can go Thirsting Roots, cast, Proliferate, right? Yeah. Because we're going to hold priority and go Infectious Inquiry here. Problem is, if they do end up destroying our Pentad Prism, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. We need to have 4 mana available, so that allows, in which we will have. So we can hold priority, go black, cast Infectious Inquiry. Then we can go green and white, Weather the Storm. No response. Oh, they don't have... Well, that's really surprising. Alright, so there is 1. I think we... How much damage is this? It's 2? I still think we weather here. Green. I wonder if they have like fire, lightning bolt, fire blast, and sure. You got me. Letting that hit me wouldn't even protect me there either. And it looks like they're just going to concede here to the second weather. So we got the 4-1, losing to a bad matchup in Bogles, which I got a little salty about, to be honest. But, I mean, it is what it is. But, yeah, like, let's take a look at the deck here. Collection. Wait, can I look at my deck here? Ah, I can. So let's look at my previous deck here. What is... lots of things are happening. Okay, there we go. View my previous deck. Losing to Bogles was a heartbreak, but annoyed. So we're not going to return to details. We're going to close that, display. And yeah, this meta is actually like... Poison Storm, I think, is usually pretty well positioned in the meta, except when there's a lot of fairies. But I've actually been just destroying fairies lately with this, both UB and Mono Blue. And I've only faced Mono Blue fairies 3 times, but I've won all 3 times. I've played UB my past 5 match against UB Fae. I've won. Like it's so things have definitely been kind of changing around how I think about what the good and bad matchups are on this deck. What I'd say for sure what the bad matchups are: Mono Blue Terror. I've actually been on like a pretty bad losing streak against them. Not UB Terror though. I'm very positive against them, but Mono U Terror, yes, I've been on a pretty big losing streak. Another bad matchup is Ponza, obviously. Another bad matchup, which is actually just as bad as Ponza in terms of my record, is Mono Black Sack. I have been getting trounced by Mono Black Sack. Bogles is bad because you don't actually have the ways of interacting with them. If you had Enchantment Destruction, it would be incredibly easy. Like even one Serene Heart, in addition to the Moment's Peace, makes it much, much easier. Um, what else is bad for me? Oh, Infect is bad, so's Hot Dogs, Cycle Storm, and Spy. So, but like altogether, all told, that's not very much percentage of the meta. It feels like when I'm playing, like I have like 80% of the meta is like a good matchup for it. So I think if you want to have like win a lot, play Poison Storm. Like this seems to have such a good matchup against Burn, Elves, like all these like small decks that trying to go fast. You can just go over the top of them pretty quickly too with this build. I've heard from other people that the Elves and Burn matchups are like pretty difficult with the Chalice build, and that makes sense because the Chalice build takes longer to set up. It has like bigger mana at the end, but it doesn't have the same tools to go to like rapidly cast spells. Manamorphose does help do that with the Chalice build, but like Thirsting Roots, Manamorphose, Snap, and also Teach by Example for like cost reducing. It's kind of like a cost reducer for your big spells, so they can like double do something in a turn / fix by using red. Like it makes it so that you can like generate a really big storm count even without your Pentad Prism. But if you throw a Pentad Prism into that, then like that's even more ways of getting like a super fast storm count going off. Like the games that I typically lose against like Elves and Burn are games when I have Infectious Inquiry, Focus the Mind, Vivisurge's Insight, Steady Progress in my hand. All of my like expensive cards, because you can't really cast these out into Storm very well unless you set up previously with the Chalice. But setting up previously with a Chalice usually means that you're taking an extra turn to set up. So just having a lower curve, I think, really helps with the Burn and like Elves and other aggressive matchups. At least that's been my experience. Anyway, I haven't filmed the introduction to this yet. I'll probably do so shortly. I hope you enjoyed the league. Hope I didn't get too salty against Bogles, although I definitely did. Anyway, see you around for the next one.